Hey, what is going on, guys? XpertFusion here, and today I want to talk about these brand new Call of Duty Black Ops 5 leaked information. Now, Black Ops 5 is just the name I'm going to be using because it's easier to call it Black Ops 5 as opposed to keep saying Black Ops Reboot, Black Ops 2020, Black Operations. There's all sorts of names that it could be. I'm just going to refer it as Black Ops 5, even though that's probably not going to be the name of it. I'm betting on either Black Ops just being called Black Ops or Black Operations. Those are like the two I'm counting on, but Black Ops 5, easier way to call it. But there's a ton of leaked information that just came out today via the Gaming Revolution and DK Dynamite, so go check their videos out because I'm not going to be going over every single little detail that they put in their videos because they put a lot of work into that stuff and they got their leaked information from other sources, stuff like that. So I'm not claiming that I got this information from anybody. It's just simply me sharing my opinions on this information because, you know, I just watched both of the videos. I really did enjoy a lot of the leaks that were heard, and I wanted to kind of share my thoughts on them. But like I said, I'm not going to be going over every single little detail. If you want to see every single little detail, go to their channels and watch their videos, please, because it's just not what I'm trying to do here. I'm just trying to share my opinion, simply. So, they have campaign leaks, multiplayer leaks, and zombies leaks, and I'm going to go over the stuff that I care about the most in terms of these leaks. So, zombies is the one thing that they don't really have that much information on, and what they do have, it's not really verified. So a lot of the zombies information is very, like, you know, it could happen, might not happen. A lot of it is pretty obvious that it's gonna happen, but a lot of it is also just completely like, yeah, it could happen, might not. But their campaign and multiplayer information is pretty set in stone because it's coming from TGR's source that happens to be very, you know, reliable. He's been right in the past, and when the leaker is very right in the past, they're more likely to be true. Obviously, like I said plenty of times before, plans can change behind the scenes all the time. Therefore, they might originally be planning something, and that might be what they hear, but then it gets changed, and then, you know, obviously, like supply drops in Modern Warfare, for example, they were supposed to happen. TGR leaked them, but they removed them a couple weeks before launch. Therefore, they weren't in the game. So it makes it seem like his leaks were fake, even though they weren't, because it was just a plan that was changed behind the scenes. So let's start with the campaign, which honestly sounds like some of the most exciting stuff from this game, even though personally I'm always more excited for the multiplayer and the zombies. I think it's just the fact that we've had less information for multiplayer and zombies, but campaign stuff sounds awesome. So first of all, like it's obvious, it's going to be a Black Ops reboot set in the Cold War and the Vietnam era, and it seems like it's going to be mainly focused on the Vietnam War, and it's going to be based on real events because the original Black Ops obviously was more about like fictional stuff. You know, they had a lot of fictional stuff involved inside of real stuff, and I really did dig that about the Black Ops 1 campaign. But I'm also okay with them making like a realistic Cold War game, and I hope if they say it's going to be realistic, make it actually realistic. You know, either say it's not realistic and just do whatever you want, or say it's realistic and actually be realistic. You know what I mean? I want them to stick to what they say. But obviously, it doesn't have to be realistic to the teeth. I'm okay if there's a little things here and there that aren't, because it's a video game at the end of the day. It's not that big of a deal. As long as the story's good, characters are good, it's fun, that's all that really matters to me at the end of the day. But I'm really excited to just see this, especially because it's stated to be even more gritty and gory than Modern Warfare. That is awesome. That is great, and especially because it's going to be on the same engine as Modern Warfare. It's going to be a lot of shock value, apparently. It's just going to be one of those campaigns that just makes you go, holy shit. And I'm excited for that. Seems like Mason Woods are also going to be returning. They're going to have new actors, though. It's not going to be the same, which is pretty much what Modern Warfare did. They brought Price back, but with a new actor. Honestly, a lot of the stuff I just kind of expected. Once I heard that there was going to be some sort of Black Ops reboot, I was like, yeah, that's probably what they're going to do. They're going to have Mason back, they're going to have Woods back, but they're going to be new actors. It's apparently going to focus on multiple sides of the war, not just the United States. It might even have some South Vietnam stuff, the Viet Cong, a lot of stuff like that. And that's all we really have for the campaign. All of it sounds pretty good to me. I'm going to be excited for it regardless. It is important to note that a lot of the leakers are saying that the game is a little shady right now in terms of development because they haven't had as much time to work on this game as they would for most other games. Therefore, a lot of their stuff isn't complete, and there might be a lot of like missing content for launch. I wouldn't be surprised if this game does not have that much content, and that's just unfortunate just how Activision's forcing them to push out this game so much earlier than expected. You know, there could be delays. There could, especially with the coronavirus and all that type of stuff. But I'm hoping it's not, just because I'd be okay with it being delayed if that means it's going to be a better game in the end. You know what I mean? But if it's gonna be fine the way it is, I want it to come out this year. You know what I mean? That's kind of how I am with it. But we'll have to wait and see on that. And it does sound like there might be a lack of content in some places, but as long as they give us free DLC and stuff like that, which it sounds like they will, we'll be okay. We'll be okay. We'll live. We'll survive. We'll see how it is. You know what I mean? I'm assuming probably similar amount of content to, like, I don't know, a little bit less than Modern Warfare. Modern Warfare's got pretty thin amount of content, but it was hated upon for having a lack of 6v6 maps. Like they had 10, or they had like 6v6 maps at launch, and people were pissed about that, stuff like that. But of course, they had a lot of other gunfight maps, ground war maps, so it made up for it, at least in my opinion. Let's get into the multiplayer stuff, because this sounds pretty interesting. It seems like it's going to be similar to Modern Warfare in terms of the different modes. Now, not in terms of how it plays. That's obviously, we'll have to wait and see how the game is itself. It's not, you know, set in stone that it's going to be as slow as Modern Warfare is, but they are going to have these large player count modes like 32v32, like what we have in Ground War, which, like I said, was to be expected. And once I heard it was going to be on the same engine as Modern Warfare, I was like, yeah, they're going to have similar modes, of course. Apparently there's a leaked map. It's a big ice map, and they've got snowmobiles on it, which sounds awesome. They're going to have a frozen forest. And what got me really excited was the fact that he said the maps in this game are generally 3-laned. Now, that got me excited because, of course, I do like the 3-laned track design more than something like the cluttered Infinity Ward design, at least as of recent maps in the recent games. And of course, they'd like to try to keep as many 3-lane maps as possible. Some of them are within Modern Warfare, but a lot of them also are really just bad. And I would like for them to keep to that 3-lane design that we know so well and that works so well for gameplay, because some of the best maps of all time, from, you know, Black Ops 2, Black Ops 3, from even Modern Warfare 2, they're 3-laned. You know what I mean? That's what I want the game to stay as. That's what I think the game should stay as. They're not as cluttered. They're more, you know, they got some open areas, but they also got some close quarters areas, and it's just a nice, solid design. That's what I wanted from this game. I'm glad that the leaks are saying that's what the maps are going to be like, even the bigger ground war maps. Apparently there's a flamethrower kill streak, as well as this, like, there's a bunch of other kill streaks he stated, but like none of them really are that surprising. Like some bombing run kill streak, like, yeah, I expected that. Dog kill streak though was awesome, because I was expecting dogs in this game, but at the same time I was also expecting dogs in World War II, and we didn't get them. So, you know, it could have been either way. But the fact that we are getting a dog kill streak, or maybe it's attack dogs, he didn't really specify. It said it could be like Riley from Ghost, but I kind of hope they have maybe both of them. They have the Riley Ghost kill streak, but then they also have like an attack dogs kill streak where a bunch of dogs swarm in and take out people. I would like both. In terms of 66 maps, he only stated 2. There's like a warehouse map as well as a city map, possibly in Russia. Now, this is the interesting thing. This is the one that people are pissed about. This is the only leak out of this entire thing where people are actually like mad, and they're stating the whole game's going to be shit just because of this one thing, which I feel like is a little ridiculous, and that is manual healing. So of course, manual healing is when you don't regen health and you have to stab yourself with the stim shot like in Black Ops 4 to regain health in multiplayer. Now, like he said in the video, TGR and DK, they said this could change. This isn't set in stone. This is something that could very well change over time. This is just what they're basing the game off of right now. I'm okay with that. I am. But just because I know how much the community hates it and how much the community is going to complain about it, I would prefer they change it back to the normal regen. Unless the game was built around this and it really does work well with this mode. I'll have to wait and see for the beta, but I enjoyed the manual healing. I did. I felt like it made gunfights more valuable. The gunfights lasted longer. They just felt better. You felt more skilled. You were like, okay, I'm going to jump behind cover. I'm going to get back into the action quicker because I stabbed myself with the stim shot. I like that. I do like that. Now, I'm okay with if they make it normal. I'm fine with that. But at the same time, I don't really want it to be. I kind of want the manual healing. But for the community's sake, yeah, whatever. Do what you got to do. And then, of course, he also said operators are back from Modern Warfare, meaning there's no specialists. It's just going to be characters, skins that you can pick, and you can get different skins for them, just like you could in Modern Warfare. They're not going to be any like stat-changing skins or anything, which is pretty cool. I hope they have a lot of awesome skins. I know, people might want this game to be realistic and stuff like that, which the multiplayer, I don't really care how crazy they get. They can go as crazy as they want. I do want to have skins from like all over Treyarch's history, just like Blackout was doing. I want to see zombie skins in this game. I want to see different campaign character skins. I want to see, I'm sure they're going to do what Modern Warfare does and keep it within the universe of Modern Warfare, so they're going to keep it within the universe of Black Ops. So maybe they'll have Mason and Woods, Maybe they'll have the campaign characters from Black Ops itself, but I don't think they're going to go crazy like what I want them to and give us like the Shadow Man or something. And I know that might sound ridiculous, but I don't care. It's multiplayer. Have fun, you know. Campaign, yes, be realistic, but multiplayer, let's have some fun. So I would not mind having those skins back in some way, shape, or form. And that's pretty much all the leaks for multiplayer, other than the fact that, yes, there's no supply drops in this game, and yes, the microtransactions are going to be similar to Modern Warfare, which I hope, if it is, I hope they also add some new stuff, like maybe more ways to earn stuff for free, because I do not enjoy how the fact that you can't really earn much in that game for free. A lot of it is just behind the paywall. Obviously, the DLC guns are free, which is good, but I want to get some of those camos and skins for free. I hate I have to pay for basically all of them, and I don't want to pay, so pretty much how it is. And in terms of Blackout, there is some information, not really. He did hear that there was a chance of Blackout being remade in some way into this game, but that's all he really heard. He hasn't heard anything since, and it could very well not be the case. Apparently at the Warzone reveal event, some YouTubers were told that this is the last Call of Duty Battle Royale, which I honestly don't believe, because of how successful Warzone is right now. There's no way Activision's not going to have them do another one in the future. There's no damn way, because people are going to eventually get sick of Warzone. They're going to want a new map. They're going to want to be like on the Treyarch sort of, you know, different classic locations from Treyarch. They're going to want something different. And a Vietnam-style Blackout would be pretty damn awesome. Now, I think they could do it. They could take Blackout, remake the map, you know, maybe just add some new locations, maybe spice it up a little bit so it feels that Vietnam era a little bit, but keep the locations itself, and maybe even keep the zombie locations, because that would be pretty awesome. And just put on the new engine with the Black Ops Reboot guns and the Black Ops Reboot equipment and stuff like that, and you have a pretty solid mode, and keep it in Blackout, make it free to play. I think that could work, or keep it in Black Ops 1, or Black Ops 5, we're going to call it that. But I think that would be pretty solid, and then you have Warzone and you have Blackout, and they both have their own separate niches to them, and they're both free to play. One of them's for Infinity Ward games, and one of them's for, you know, Treyarch, and as every new Infinity Ward and Treyarch game comes out, they continuously update them and add new stuff to them based on the new game. I think that would be perfect. That would work so well. But if it takes away from development time too much for the game, then I would rather them not do it. But if it doesn't, then screw it, do it. And last but not least, we have zombies information. So there's not much for zombies. All he's really heard is that perks are back, pack punch is back. It's pretty much, you know, what you'd expect from a zombies mode, but they are going to be adding a lot of different ways to play, which I like this. It sounds similar to something like custom mutations, but probably in a better way, maybe. I feel like the different ways to play more so applies to different game modes. I feel like we're going to have a lot of modes like Grief, Turned. I wouldn't be surprised if Rush and the Gauntlets come back as well. Maybe even some completely new things I've never seen before. All of that is definitely on the table, and I'm expecting it. The main leak that he heard was that, yes, Transit is going to be on disc. He hasn't really heard much about the other two maps, Die, Rise, and Buried, but of course we'll get more information about on that as time goes on. It seems like they will be in the game in some way. If I'm going to go over a prediction, I'm going to predict that the game's going to have 4 maps on launch. I know that sounds crazy, but 3 of them are going to be remakes, so it's not that crazy, you know what I mean? And they're already made in the original game. So I think we're going to have one completely new map that's like a big, you know, Shadows of Evil style map that's really, they worked hard on, and it's like really, really just good overall. And then they're going to have these 3 remakes, which they could be faithful remasters, sure, but I don't think they will be, because people don't really like Transit and Die Rise that much specifically, so I'm sure they're going to remake them, make them very different, make them probably have a new story to them, maybe even new characters, to be honest. They could do anything with these maps, and I hope they do. I hope they're very, very different. I hope they're almost like how different Alpha, Omega, and TOG are to their previous counterparts. You know, I want that to be the case. I know people might not be happy with that, because they might be like, oh, remakes, I don't want any more remakes. Get over yourself, man. Would you rather have one completely new map or one completely new map and 3 remakes? Take the 3 remakes. They've already been made. They've already been in progress for a while since Black Ops 4. Just take them and accept them. Don't complain like a little bitch. Now, if the whole game is remakes, then yeah, that'd be a problem, but that's not going to be the case at all. Trust me. Sounds like the story is going to be an Ether reboot as well. He's not too sure how it works, though. Chaos seems to be canceled. And it's going to have probably a Zombies pass, because obviously multiplayer maps are going to be free, and they're not going to give Zombies maps for free because they're much harder to work on, so there'll be, you know, probably a paid pass for Zombies, which makes sense to me. And it sounds like there might be a separate sort of a mode map where it's like more based on Vietnam zombies, and it's going to be with some campaign characters. That's what they've been hearing. So it's pretty much all the information that we have regarding this game and that they've given us. Keep an eye out, put your notifications on for TGR and DK Dynamite, because they have tons more leaks probably down the pipeline as we get closer to release, closer to reveal in general. I mean, the reveal is going to be like a month and a half from now. This is one of the most surprising years, in my opinion, for Call of Duty, because I feel like the leaks aren't coming as quick as we usually get them. Maybe I'm just speaking because Modern Warfare's leaks came so early. Like, we were getting Modern Warfare information like insanely early, which was crazy to me. But this game, the leaks just started, really. I mean, yeah, we've had some information in the past, but it was very minimal. Now we're getting some full concrete information, which is really awesome. And I hope that they start at least teasing the game like from a month from now. I'm assuming the teasers are going to start like late April. They're going to start teasing us little bits, maybe drop a name reveal, which I hope it's Black Operations. Please make it Black Operations. That's a perfect name. I don't want to call it Black Ops. We already have a Black Ops. And I don't want to call it Black... I mean, I wouldn't mind Black Ops 5, really, but I don't want that either. Just call it Black Operations. That's a perfect name. It keeps the Black Ops brand in there, but also is something different that we can call it. And yeah, and I think the actual reveal event is going to be sometime in May. Now, it might not be a reveal event because the coronavirus, of course. So I don't think they're actually going to reveal, it officially like they would usually do it, like at these big events, which I'm okay with. Just do like an online reveal sort of a deal, where it's like some sort of a live stream and they show it off in their studio. I think that's perfect. Honestly, I like that even better, because I love to see YouTubers' reactions, and when they go to an event, you can't see the reactions because they're already there. I'm a big fan of reactions. I don't know. I'm one of those guys. I love to see all these people's reactions to new games and stuff like that. But if it's an online event, we're going to see everyone's reaction. I think it's going to be a really hype event. It's going to be a full community thing where we're all together reacting at the same exact time, rather than YouTubers seeing it earlier than us. You know what I mean? That sort of a deal. I actually am okay with that, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm really excited. Even if the leaks say this game might be a little shady in terms of content, there might be a couple missed features and stuff like that, maybe a couple things that aren't finished because of how rushed this game is going to be, I think Treyarch can handle it. I think Treyarch will handle it. I tend to not be disappointed by Treyarch that often. I really do enjoy their games. So I'm going to be here covering this game as much as humanly possible, and if I love the game, of course, I will be making videos on it. Now, unfortunately, Modern Warfare, not a big fan of, so that's why I haven't been covering the game that much. I've been loving Warzone, though. I'm doing a lot of Warzone. Trust me, I love Warzone. Rest of the game, not a big fan of, other than the campaign, of course. That's why I didn't cover the game that much after launch. I stopped covering it really, really quickly. But if I love this game a lot, I will be covering it as much as possible, as long as I have the time to do that. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.